Live at 6, this is 13 News Now.
Danger while driving down the interstate in Virginia Beach. A woman was found shot on 264.
State police say there were 2 shootings. Troopers investigated the area near Newtown Road, causing a traffic jam this morning. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin has more on what happened.
Well, the gridlock happened here on Interstate 264 near the Newtown exit. Virginia State Police say it happened because of an investigation into 2 shootings.
At Newtown, callers advising that her 19-year-old friend was put out of a vehicle after being shot.
That was part of the conversation involving emergency dispatchers early Monday morning.
Just after Newtown, I've got multiple people running across the interstate right now.
A woman shot around 2:30 a.m. At the time of the call, she was on Interstate 264 eastbound near Newtown Road exit.
I just hope they can find them and teach somebody a lesson and tell them they can't get away with this kind of stuff.
Scott Fowler lives in the Newtown neighborhood right next to the exit. So does Christina McKeithron.
As close to the interstate as possible, and this was literally the perfect spot to be in.
McKeithron wanted to live close to the highway for convenience.
But my office is in Greenbrier, so I just hop on 264 Norfolk and then take the exit to Chesapeake and go down there pretty much every day. We like it. Unfortunately, it's, what happened is really scary.
Virginia Beach EMS took the injured woman to the hospital. Virginia State Police is handling the investigation. We don't know if the shooting itself actually happened on the interstate yet. Virginia State Police are investigating the incident. We do expect to have an update from them later on. Reporting in Virginia Beach, I'm Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
Schools and city offices were closed today, but anyone who ventured out knows that it was a cold start to the week. Some of us even saw flurries this morning. Jeff, it will still be cold tomorrow when everyone gets back into the routine.
Yeah, below normal again tomorrow, but only by a few degrees, so not quite as bad as what we saw today. But actually, it's that influx of air that's a little less cold that is going to set the stage for the next system to move in. So there's nothing out there right now on radar. But what's going to happen, all these good visibilities that you see out there, they're going to give way tomorrow during the overnight. So 24 to 36 hours from now to thickening clouds. Speaking of clouds, we do have the clouds out there right now, but they're not producing any kind of precipitation. It is currently 34 degrees, winds, moderate out of the north, 8 miles per hour, enough to give that little extra bite to the air where it feels slightly colder. For the next 6 hours, dropping back most areas into the upper 20s. Officially at the coastline with that northerly wind, probably stay closer to 30. So again, cold, but not abnormally so. Tomorrow, as I said, less cold than it was today, but still below normal. With that southerly wind, though, it's going to turn then on the other side of the system, cold again for Wednesday, and light snow is likely. It's not definite, but it is likely. A minor accumulation is also not only possible, but probably likely as well. A little bit more than a minor accumulation once you get back inland. We'll talk more about the scenarios, what could change, how much we're expecting, the exact timing, all of that coming up, and a warm-up, significant warm-up in my extended forecast. That's all coming up.
All right, Jeff, thanks. The search continues tonight for the man who allegedly robbed and shot someone who was using an ATM in Norfolk.
The crime has a lot of people rethinking their next stop to get cash. Police say the attack happened in the middle of the day. The suspect is seen in these surveillance pictures from the machine in the Janus Shopping Center. 13 News Now reporter Ernie LeBeau reports police are hoping someone can help them find the robber.
Well, this is the ATM that police say that a man was trying to use when he was approached by a masked man. When he refused to give up his money, that's when police say he was shot.
That seems a little, it's very out of the ordinary, but I guess that's why the person decided to do it at that time.
Kimberly Pierce didn't hesitate using this ATM even after finding out someone was shot here. She says it's a reminder for her to keep her guard up.
Try to make sure that nobody's too close to me, just as kind of like a personal bubble, but also I don't want anyone to see, my PIN or anything like that.
Monday morning, dozens of people in Norfolk used this Navy Federal Credit Union ATM, some alone, some with others. The people we spoke to had a list of things they do to protect themselves at these machines.
I check the machine out and make sure it's nothing that's loose.
I tend to use ones that are in well-lit areas or in ones that are in more public areas.
But even as public as this ATM in the Gen F shopping center is, this is where police say a man was shot. These are the photos captured of a masked man trying to rob someone. Police say when the customer refused to give up his cash, the gunman shot him.
Oh, goodness.
The man who was shot was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. But the gunman left the scene and is still on the run. Now police are hoping someone recognizes him to get him off the streets. In Norfolk, I'm Erin LeBeau, 13 News Now.
Today, a state Senate panel defeated a Democratic push for stricter gun laws. The Republican-led panel voted down the legislation which would allow cities and counties to ban firearms at certain public events. The panel also defeated a bill that would expand mandatory background checks on gun buyers. The vote comes 2 days after Governor Ralph Northam pushed for universal background checks during his inaugural address.
A state Senate panel today also voted on a bill that will soften penalties for stealing smaller items. The panel voted to raise the felony threshold from $200 to $500. Virginia's $200 mark was set back in 1980. We are tied with New Jersey in having the lowest level. The Republican-led committee rejected a push by Governor Northam to raise the limit to $1,000, instead settling for half that amount.
Hampton University has remembered Dr. Martin Luther King on this day. Students, staff, and people in the community marched on campus to honor the civil rights leader. This is an annual march that starts at Emancipation Oak on HU's campus. One student who has attended the last 4 years says the event has grown. The keynote speaker asked students, "Where do you go from here?"
When you come on this campus and you interact with the students, you are renewed in your hope and your faith that somebody in the next generation is still doing the work, has a vision, has a plan to go forward.
Dr. Wilson is the daughter of Greer Wilson, who started the Greer Dawson Wilson Student Leadership Program in the late 70s.